All right, here you guys go. Now, in order to do this one, in order to simplify the square root, a radical, you have to understand a basic fact about radicals. And the basic fact is this. If you had a radical and then you have the same radical, these are square root radicals. They're not third root radicals or fourth root radicals. These are square root radicals. It would work, though, if you had a square or a third root radical. This equals the square root of a times b. And so conversely, you can split things up. I think you guys have seen this before. How do you simplify the square root of 50? What you do is you go square root of 25 and the square root of 2. You split it up. What's 25 times 2? 50. So they're the same, right? And why would I pick 25? 25 is a perfect square. And I can simplify 25. 25 would be 5, so this would actually be 5 square root of 2. Now, I don't know if you guys have a different way of thinking about it, but that's the reason why you can simplify it. You can split apart the square root. So, if you were trying to write this with not a negative inside of it, we could just go square root of negative 1 times square root of 77. Plus the minus out in front. Okay, do you guys know what the square root of negative 1 equals? I. Now, I like to write it like this. I like to write the I here, but I believe there's a lot of they like writing the I after the square root. Okay, so if you guys write the I after the square root, you would have to, what I also like to do, because sometimes our writing is kind of sloppy, I like to put a little hangy thing right here at the end of the square root. That helps me see in my writing that the I is on the outside of the square root, the I is not on the inside. Make sure the I is not on the inside of the square root. It has to be on the outside. And then plus or minus. This is your answer. That's what you would put in. Actually, the plus or minus is already there. You just have to write square root of 77, I. And I can't simplify 77. Can you guys think of a perfect square that divides 77? No. I can't either. So that's it. That's your answer. Okay, let me repeat that really fast. This is standard form for a complex number. It goes a, b times the I. And the reason why they put the I on the right is because they want you to be able to identify easily the b. So here, let me give you a quick example. Let's say we had a negative 50, like what we just did. Okay, I'm going to split this up so I can simplify it. And the way I would split it up is I would say the square root of 25, square root of 2, and the square root of negative 1. Because 25 times 2 times negative 1 would equal negative 50. Is everybody cool? Everybody with me? And I can simplify stuff. I can say this guy is a 5, and I can say this guy is an I. And I'm going to write it like this. 5 square root of 2, I. And so what is B?
5 root 2.
Yeah, the B is this guy. Okay? Is 5 root 2. Okay, now could you write it like this? 5i square root of 2. Yes, technically that means the same thing. But I think they want you to write it like this.